Okay, before I jump into this, because I'm about to dive in, I just want to show you something. This was me in 2018 versus last week. Hold on. This was me last year in January versus last week. Are you following? I've been astral projecting since about 4 years old. That's when I can physically remember astral projecting, like from my body, leaving my body, traveling through the skies to different destinations, even watching people that I love and friends sleep in their bed, floating right over them. And I never understood what was happening as a kid. I never understood. I just know that when I was being abused by my stepfather, I would somehow be able to leave my body and go somewhere else, which is why I didn't have a lot of memories in between because I'd leave a lot. It wasn't until about third grade, third or fourth grade, that I had read this R.L. Stein novel. And maybe it wasn't R.L. Stein, but I'm going to say it was because I was a big R.L. Stein fan. Like, I read all of R.L. Stein books. I loved R.L. Stein, but there was this one in particular. And I apologize if I get some of this wrong, because I don't remember all of it, but I do remember it was the first time that I understood what was happening to me. And basically, it was about this girl who had dreams, and she kept seeing someone that looked like her. And she was having these moments where she was leaving her body, and someone was teaching her about astral projection. And I was like, astral projection? And then they described it in the book. Like, they described it in the book as like your soul leaving your body, it travels. But it also explains in the book how while you're outside of your body, while you're traveling outside of your body, another soul that's astral projecting, or a soul in general that may be caught between realms, can enter your vessel. The body is nothing but a car. Beep, beep, vroom, vroom. Who's got the keys to the Jeep? And I remember being absolutely fucking terrified that if I left my body, that someone else would enter it. So I endured some pain over astral projection and fear. Um, I tried my best to limit myself from doing it. I would notice that sometimes in my sleep, I would just do it naturally. The older I got, the easier it became to control. I can still now, in my 40s, astral project. Of course, I put safety guards around myself, and I do things to protect myself if I feel like that's something that I want to do. And I don't do it often, but when I do, it puts me in rooms with people, places, and things, which is how I'm so fucking accurate. In case you were wondering, have I astral projected into some late night meetings at the Pentagon? Yeah. Yeah, I have, because if you had that gift, wouldn't you? Needless here or there. But let's get back to Mr. Carrey. Let's get back to Jim Carrey, right? Um, I've watched the interview, and I have to agree, nothing sounds like him. I'm not even going to front. Is it a possibility that something like astral projection happened? Sure. If someone didn't know they had the gift, if someone's body was just doing it, absolutely possible. Now let's talk about transference of souls, because I've seen a lot of conspiracy theories lately with Selena Gomez and Gina Davis and Val Kilmer and Jim Carrey, and everyone's just like, oh, they've been like, get out, like it's been transplanted. Now, I will say this: if astral projection is real, and I know because I can do it, if astral projection is real, and there are people who are elevated spiritually to know this, and I'm sure there have been governmental experiments across the board over time to know this, then the probability of things like this being able to happen, to me, not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, is pretty fucking high. But the thing about astral projection is it has to be a willing participant. You can't just force a soul out of a body. From everything that I understand, from talking to guides and talking to people on the other side, it's not just something you can force a soul to leave its body. Not through pain, pleasure, or in between. It has to be a voluntary thing. Okay? Not saying it's not possible, just saying it's unlikely. And then I look back at me and my older photos. And like right now, as you're looking at me, my eyes look really dark. They look dark. My eyes change colors. Let me bring it in. Okay? Let me bring the light on in. Okay? Depending how the light hits this motherfucker, my eyes can look really fucking light green. And I mean light green. Like pretty light green. Other times, they can look honey. They look honey. Other times they just look brown. In fact, I was with someone and married to someone for almost 8 fucking years, and they would tell you that my eyes are brown. They would say brown eyes. They would never claim hazel. And if you ask anyone, I'm sure they'll be like, oh yeah, brown eyes. My eyes have never been brown. My eyes have never been brown. They've always changed colors. They've always been lighter or darker, but they've still been hazel. And as far as I know, Jim Carrey has hazel eyes. But depending on lighting and how it hits, if anyone that has hazel eyes would know, it could drastically change the color of your eyes and what it looks like. Also, going back to the beginning, from what I looked like from 2018 to 2025, and what I look like now, kind of look like a completely different person. In fact, if I was famous, it might throw people off to be like, that don't even look like the same person. And then you got to take everything in to play. You got to take everything into play. This man's been battling suicidal depression for most of his life. He's a method actor who gets really serious into roles. He's done come out and spoke the truth about Hollywood. Illuminati signs, shit that they're doing with kids. He's come out and spoke out. And has basically said, if I come back and I don't look like me or talk like me, it ain't me. That very well could be true. But what doesn't make sense in this scenario is the game. Jim Carrey is damn near 65 years old. Putting a soul in his body doesn't help the lifeline. If you're going to do soul transference, you're going to go into a 20-year-old body, a 30-year-old body. You ain't going to pick a body that's at the end, going towards the end of his timeline. That makes absolutely zero fucking sense. Your little Gina Davis, Selena Gomez one, that makes more sense because at least Selena Gomez is fucking young. Which, by the way, lupus and autoimmune diseases drastically changes your physical features. Drastically. But we forget that aging and changing changes our physical looks. There's a lot of people that you look back at these little videos, like my mama said she was a hot one back in the day. And then you look at all the old photos and you're like, damn, that does not look like mama here at 60, 70 years old. She was banging. But I love where y'all are going with it because it's definitely the distraction that the government wants from all the actual people it's murdering right now and experimenting on. As for Jim Carrey, I have no reason to believe this is some type of governmental thing, but I do believe it is actually physically and spiritually possible for astral projection to happen, for someone to leave their body and another soul to inhabit it. The only problem with that is if the soul was not intended for the body, it doesn't work long term. It can't stay long term. So even if it inhibited his body for a few weeks, I don't see it lasting longer than that. Again, run your conspiracy theories up. They're fun. I'm just not seeing any truth in it. Oh well.